Today we're doing pulled pork and smoked ribs. That's it. Oh, and there's one. That's it. So just use this pulled pork recipe off the internet. 2 tablespoons brown sugar. 1 tablespoon chili powder. We didn't use that, don't like the heat that much. 2 teaspoons paprika, used sweet. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon dried thyme. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of salt. And 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We doubled the recipe to get it look like that, and then we'll just give it a shake. We'll shake it up a bit more, but yeah, it looks good. See how it goes. Alright, so we've got our pork here. Going to be removing the skin and then seasoning it up with the seasoning we made. Next we'll be using a binder mustard that we used last time. One hand so I can keep the other hand clean. And get it all over. Now that we've got that slathered up, we'll add our seasoning. So we add the seasoning that we made. So we'll season that up. So I've got that all seasoned up now. I'll be going to prepare the smoker, so I'm just going to let that sit here for a minute. We'll be cooking this at 140 degrees Celsius for 4 to 6 hours, maybe 4 to 7, whichever comes first of either temperature of it being pulled apart. And then we'll prepare the ribs. I'm hoping those are about 3 to 4 hours on the ribs itself. Yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to be cooking at 148 degrees instead of 140, as that's what's on the dial. We'll let that preheat, and then we'll put the meat in. Alright, so we've got our meat on, probe inserted. Now let's get it. Now it's for the rib prep. Instead of peeling the silver skin, what I've done is, it was off Mad Scientist Barbecue, I think it was. He said to cube the silver skin almost. So as you can see, I went down that way and also that way. So it sort of cubed it up. So we'll see how that goes. Now to add the binder and the rub. Now that we have those seasoned up, they're going to go on a plate in the fridge for an hour or so until we're ready to bang them onto. So I've just got the ribs on. It looks a little bit crowded, but we'll see if the Asmoke can handle it. Alright, so here we are an hour and 40 minutes in. As you can see, the bark is set, or the rub has set. So now I'm going to give them a wrap up, double layer foil and some barbecue sauce and let them cook. So I'm just going to give them another spritz and then get some sauce. Okay, so they've been sauced and spritzed, wrap them up, put them back in. So we're 2 hours and 58 minutes into the cook, nearly 3 hours. Main pork butt 61 degrees. The ribs just hit 100 degrees, or 98, 100, so I'm going to just check it for tenderness now. We're just checking it for readiness. That skewer goes straight in. There's not much resistance at all, so we're going to wrap them and let them rest for a fair while. This is batch number 2, the centre bit. If I can just get it. Yeah, it's pretty tender. Now the beef ribs are put to bed. We'll let them sit there as long as they need to. And then once the big butt's ready, we're going to pull it out and we're going to actually give these a bit of a sear. So the total cook time of the ribs was 3 hours, partly because the smoker was in the sun, so it sort of went from 140 to 160 degrees Celsius. I did try to turn it down to about 120 towards the end, but they were cooked, so they'll tender at around 100 degrees. So I'm going to let them rest now until we're ready to eat, and then just before we're going to eat them, I'm going to give them a quick sear on the Asmoke. So the pork's nearly at the temperature that I want. We've got some corn in there as well. It's currently at 92 degrees. I want to get it to about 96 and check tenderness, then pull it off. Alright, so we just hit 96 degrees on the meat. that slides in nicely. Alright, I think we're at the stage where any longer and it's probably going to fall apart too much, so we'll pull it off. So I just got it in. I'm going to let it rest a little bit and then rip her apart. Gosh, that looks good. Ooh, yeah. I've just pulled it apart. Very tender. Let's taste test. See the smoke? Penetrated it well. Juicy tender, exactly what you want. So I've just slid the grate over on the Asmoke. You can see the fire. Now we're going to be searing the ribs. So just covering with some barbecue sauce. And we'll sear one side, then sear the other. Just while that's searing, well, you can see how tender it is. Oh yeah. Alright, here's the finished product. See if I can slice it. Oh, easy. Just pulls off. Looks good. Tastes good too. That's it. Nice look at it. You can see where the smoke penetrated the meat. Pork ribs. Pulled pork. Now to add some salad and some buns. That's the final product. That's it. Get it in you.